Have you ever walked into a room and felt like no one even noticed? Not because people were being cruel, not because they wanted to ignore you, but because it felt like you simply weren't there. You speak, and your words disappear. You try, but somehow you're always overlooked. You watch other people laugh, connect, be remembered, while you quietly fade into the background. After a while, you stop asking why people don't see you. You start wondering if there's something about you that simply isn't worth noticing. And that's one of the loneliest feelings a person can experience. But what if feeling invisible isn't actually about being unseen? What if it's about something much deeper? Everyone has felt invisible. Almost everyone experiences this feeling at some point. Being left out of conversations, watching others build friendships effortlessly, feeling like your presence changes nothing. Most people never talk about it because admitting that you feel invisible can feel embarrassing. It sounds like weakness, but it isn't. It's a deeply human experience because every person wants one thing: to know that they matter. We notice what confirms our fears. Our minds are constantly searching for evidence. If you already believe that people don't notice you, your brain starts collecting proof. Someone forgets to reply. You remember it. Someone interrupts you. You remember that too. Someone else receives attention. Your brain compares it to your own experience. Slowly, you begin seeing the world through one question: do I matter? And every unanswered message, every missed invitation, every forgotten conversation feels like another answer. You become quieter without realizing it. The strange thing is, feeling invisible often changes your behavior. You speak less. You hesitate more. You stop sharing your opinions. You stop telling stories. You become careful, almost invisible by habit, not because that's who you are, but because you're protecting yourself from disappointment, the fear of rejection. Many people don't fear rejection itself. They fear confirming what they already believe, that they're forgettable, that they're not interesting enough, that no one truly wants them around. So instead of risking rejection, they slowly withdraw. And the less visible they become, the more invisible they feel. Social comparison. It's easy to believe everyone else has stronger friendships, better conversations, more meaningful connections. Social media makes this even worse. You see everyone else's highlights, but you compare them to your quietest moments. And suddenly, your own life feels empty by comparison. Emotional isolation. Sometimes, people do see you, but you don't feel seen. Those are very different things. You can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone, because what you truly want isn't attention, it's understanding. You want someone to notice what's happening beneath the surface, without you having to explain everything. The story you tell yourself. Over time, feeling invisible becomes more than a feeling. It becomes an identity. You begin saying things like, "I'm just the quiet one. I'm not interesting. People always forget me." And once a story repeats long enough, your mind starts treating it as fact, even when reality is more complicated. Why it hurts so much. Humans are wired for connection. For thousands of years, being ignored by the group wasn't just painful, it could be dangerous. That's why feeling unseen hurts so deeply. Your brain interprets social disconnection as something important, something that needs attention, not because you're weak, but because you're human. what actually helps. Stop measuring your worth through attention. One of the biggest traps is believing that attention equals value. It doesn't. The loudest person isn't always the most meaningful. The most visible person isn't always the happiest. And the quietest person isn't the least important. Your value isn't determined by how many people notice you. It's determined by who you are, even when nobody is watching. Allow yourself to be seen. Sometimes we hide so well that people never get the chance to know us. Not intentionally, but through fear. We filter our words, hide our emotions, smile when we're struggling, agree when we disagree. Little by little, we disappear behind a version of ourselves that feels safer. Being seen starts with allowing people to meet the real you, not all at once, but one honest conversation at a time. Build genuine connection. Real connection rarely comes from trying to impress people. It comes from consistency, curiosity, listening, showing up, being authentic. You don't need everyone to notice you. You only need a few people who truly see you. And often, those connections begin when you stop trying so hard to be accepted and simply allow yourself to be real. If you've been feeling invisible, please remember this. Feeling unseen doesn't mean you don't matter. Feeling forgotten doesn't mean you're forgettable. And feeling alone doesn't mean you'll always be alone. Sometimes, the hardest person to convince of your worth is yourself. And once that begins to change, the way you experience other people often changes too. Because you stop looking for proof that you're invisible and start giving yourself permission to exist without apology. If this video made you feel understood, you're not alone. Subscribe for more videos that help you understand your mind, your emotions, and the quiet struggles that so many people experience but rarely talk about.